gonna blow up.
7.5, guys, stop, 7.5% of change, okay?
That's nice.
The International Balloon Fiesta takes place every year in Albuquerque, New Mexico. In 1999, 903 balloons participated. In 2000, 1,019 balloons participated. By about what percent did the number of balloons increase from 99 to 2000? How can I figure that out? What do you think, Matthew?
Well, we're trying to find the percent. So can we use that equation you have up there?
Oh, I like that idea, because you wanna find the percent, or the percent of change, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, what's that formula tell us that we need to do?
It says
Percent,
percent equals amount of, the amount of increase divided by original amount.
Okay, the amount of increase divided by the original. What is the amount,
Of balloons, that's the
Of
original.
interest is, basically you subtract.
Increase.
what is
not
the amount of increase? Yes, you do
Basically
what?
you subtract what 1,019 balloons.
Minus 903.
So I wanna do 1019 minus 903 over what?
Oh, over,
2,000.
no,
No.
903.
this
Over
one.
the original, over the
903.
original. The original was
903.
903. What is 1019 minus 903?
7, 19, 26.
Not 26.
Oh.
1019 minus 903.
Oh, 903. Oh, sorry, my bad.
You're fine.
116.
116. So then I have 116 divided by 903. What's 116 divided by 903?
My face.
A lot of numbers. So let's move that decimal over 2 places, because remember we're finding percent, and let's leave 1 decimal place for our percent. So
Yeah, we
we
got a long number. Can I just round it? It's
12.8%.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Because we're gonna say it's technically 0.128. Hey, I don't know why I'm hearing your voice. Sis boys, but they need to stop.
Okay, so you find the
Who's that?
difference and divided by the original.
Yes, difference divided by the
And then
original.
you move the decimal.
And then you move it twice, and I if it's not like a perfect, like 12%, I usually leave 1 decimal place for,
difference is like equal thing.
you might have.
I think we did.
Miss, here's the difference thing is sorry, you just did the middle, right? But what I'm trying to say the thing like right there.
This? I was
Yeah.
changing the decimal into a
What's that? thing?
percent. There's not a name
Sir,
for it.
no.
There's not a name, and I didn't, it's just what you do to change it to a percent.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, stop. Find the percent decrease from 512 to 320. What do I need to do?
Well, we
Find the percent of decrease
We
from
need to have
512 to 320.
512 minus 320
512
minus 320
minus 320
over 512.
over 512. Yes, because we're decreasing, correct? What's
Mhm.
512 minus 320?
I can't. 192
192
divided by
divided by 512. What do you get?
37.5%.
Okay, so 37.5% decrease, right?
Oh, so we have to have the decrease at the end.
Well,
It'd be better.
in this, I don't need to write decrease at the end because it's asking me specifically what's the decrease. But in word problems, you're gonna need to label it because you're gonna need to tell me what's happening. Like, if sales are going up, it's an increase. If
Increase.
sales are going down, it's a decrease. So
Decrease.
you're gonna have to use some like common sense and
Okay.
fill those blanks in, you know what I'm saying?
Perfect.
Wait, what?
What, Sonia?
Never mind, I was getting so confused.
Okay. Now, there were about 198,000 spectators at an action sports event in 1995. The number of spectators increased by about 12% from 95 to 2002. How many spectators were there in 2002? So this time we know the percent of increase, Okay. But we need to find the new total. How do we do that?
12 over 100
Would we have,
equals
the
19800.
would we have
Oh,
the
yeah.
34.8% at the, where the percent is, and then equals?
Time out. Where are you even getting, we're not on the red one, we're on the
Oh,
red one.
I'm sorry, never mind. I was looking at the wrong one, my bad.
Wait, hold on.
If you want to know the new total, what do I need to do?
Make a proportion, right?
Now you need to use a formula.
Maybe.
What do we just use the same formula? From the, oh, I can't speak today.
You said use the same formula?
Yeah, the percent amount of increase original and amount. I can't speak.
Not exactly. How many spectators are we starting with? Where's our starting point?
1,900.
198,000.
So 198,000, and we need to add that to what?
12%
A 12% what?
increase.
Increase.
So we would change it to a decimal?
Okay, so change it to 0.12.
So it would
And
be
what do I have to do with 0.12? I need to figure out what 12% of what is.
of 198,000?
Yes, so I need to take 0.12, right?
Yeah.
And I need to multiply it by, and that's gonna give you your total for 2002. Does that make sense?
Oh, and then you
Add those two
add
things
those
together.
two
So what is 0.12 times 198,000?
Like,
23,760.
23,760
760.
plus
98.
the 198,000, right?
Yes.
And you get what?
Um, 221,760.
Spectators, right?
Yes.
In 2002. Okay, does that make sense how you get that?
I think
Sure.
So
so.
you're taking what already was,
Oh, yeah.
you're taking what you're increasing by and multiplying by what already was and adding it to what was there. Because you
Wait,
have to go up.
Say that again?
You're taking what already was,
Huh?
multiplying it by the increase, and adding it back to what already was,
Alright.
okay? Cause I needed to figure out what 12% of this was in order to add the 12% into that. Okay, the last type of one we're doing is like this, and this is with decrease, I believe. In 1993, the average price of a CD was $21.50. But by 2000, the average price had decreased by 34.8%.
so we're doing what we did
Kind of.
Mm-mm.
for this, or
Oh,
we-
so you're taking the original.
You're gonna do something like this, except for because it says decrease, what are you going to use?
Reverse.
Reverse.
Subtraction. So it was, so we wanna figure out the total in 2000, right?
Yes.
And it's going to equal what the cost was originally, yes?
21
But because it's decreased, we have to
minus it.
subtract, and you subtract it by
Point-
taking
0.348
.348
times the 2150.
times the 2150. Okay, so what is .348 times the 2150?
Let's see.
7.482.
What'd you say?
7.482.
7.482?
Mhm.
Okay,
And then we have to subtract that from.
now, we're gonna talk about something else in just a second too, because I'm gonna
Oh.
show you a possibly easier way to do this.
There's an easier way.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you get like 14.018, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna leave it like that for now. So about 14, so I would round this to about $14.02, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, let me show you a different way to do this that might be simpler, okay? How much did it decrease by? What was the percent that it decreased by?
Oh,
34.8.
34.8, okay? If I take 100, because that represents how much total percent there is, yes?
Yes.
And I subtract 34.8 from it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
100 minus 34.8, you get 65.2% is remaining. Does that make sense? Okay, do you follow what I'm saying right now?
Yes.
No.
So, to make 100%, 34.8 plus 65.2 makes 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
this is what it did not decrease by, that's what like still remains, 65% of this total still remained, okay? So another way to do this problem is to take the 2150 that it originally cost, okay? And to multiply it by
65.2?
the 65.2%, okay? If I multiply it by the 0.652, what do you get?
141,408.
No, you didn't you didn't multiply it right. You take 2150 and multiply by 0.652.
14.018, so it'd be 14 and 2 cents. $14.02. That's,
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah.
you get $14.02. You can do it either way. The book is going to show you to do it this way every time. Because it's less work, less steps.
Okay.
Okay, so if you take, when it's working with decrease, if you multiply it by the percent that is not given to you, okay, you're gonna just get your straight answer. So if it said it decreases by 33.7%, you would take 100 and subtract 33.7 from it, and then multiply that decimal by your answer, and you get the total. You didn't have to do any extra steps. Okay, those are the things you're working on tonight in your homework.
I understand. I think it's interesting.
That's good now.